And now, another exciting episode of As the River Churns.
I see some hand gestures going on over here. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Woohoo! Hello.
Thursday. And look, the sun is shining.
Looks beautiful.
Isn't it nice?
And there's nobody in the studio audience today.
No.
What does that say?
No gallery today. No gallery today. It's
because we think this is going to be a good one today, Tom.
It is. Well, they're all home. They're probably recording so that they can get all of the juicy details
true.
today,
yes.
right? So, and our guest is Whitney Ariza.
Yes.
Hello.
I like to say that, Whitney Ariza. It's kind of like an
rolls
exotic.
right off
It
my tongue.
is, yes. Catchy.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you all want to turn over our little
Yes.
timeline
Ready?
thing today?
1, 2, 3.
Okay, don't break your hand doing it.
I don't know if my arm bends that way.
We don't need to have.
I was going forward. She was going backwards.
We made it work.
We did.
You did
we
a good
did.
job. You did a good job. What a great picture we had.
That was beautiful.
I love that. And we just got
Wow.
that this week.
We did, and that was from Jim Barrett. So thank you for sending that to us. Beautiful picture.
Yeah, I love that
Yep.
picture. So
Yep.
thank you. That was awesome. So I've been, I hope he doesn't mind. I've been sharing that with a lot of people
Well,
because
it's,
I love
it's
that
gorgeous.
picture. So,
yes.
so thank you for doing that. It's got to show some of the nice new landscaping that we've got
Right,
going on,
right.
too, which is great.
Yep.
So, okay, so we know Whitney's our guest. Trivia question time.
Okay, the trivia question today.
Yes, it's a tough one today.
It's from Max Bibbert.
Yes.
So the winner today will receive a $25 gift card to Target again.
Target.
So that way you can
We
shop
love it.
online.
Target, yes.
And Michelle will deliver it today because I
Wow.
believe Brian is off. So we know this person will get their card then because Michelle's delivering it.
Yeah, or not
So-
not half the card. Full card.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I am very confident you will get your prize, whoever it is today. Okay, so the question is, what is the home and birthplace of Thomas Dewey? What is the home and birthplace of Thomas Dewey? Okay. Michelle is ready to take calls.
And that number
Is 336-389-4103. 336-389-4103. And just so you all know, she gets a lot of calls. So when you call in and you don't get her, she's probably on the line with someone else. And she's running out of the room right now.
She is running.
So she got her first call already.
Right. And maybe what we can
I
do
thought
is
that was a hard one.
we give her a signal. She can give us a signal when she's got it. So
That
we
sounds
can
good.
say
So
that,
people
and
can
then
stop calling, and
Yeah,
that will help. But
that would make it a little easier
yeah,
for folks.
don't be
so.
surprised if you can't get through to her when she has one person on the line. The next one has to roll to her voicemail. So.
Okay, well, let's get into the, this is a little weird being here on Thursday because we've been doing that Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing for quite a while. So
Yep.
a little weird being here on Thursday.
Right.
But, going over the coronavirus statistics from the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. Before we do that, though, I was just talking to Whitney and Lisa about this. I had gotten a little notification on my phone just a little bit ago saying that the U.S., unfortunately, this is like solemn, somber news, but the U.S. has reached 100,000 deaths now, unfortunately, that are connected to the COVID-19 coronavirus. So, that's a lot of people. 100,000 people is a lot of people. So, out of those 100,000 people, 827 have been here in North Carolina. 827. So, I guess from that perspective, we've done fairly well.
Right.
If you can look at it that way. I know that's kind of not a great way to look at it, but.
It makes you wonder, though, where are the big numbers at? Because that's a big difference.
Well, we know New York and New Jersey and some of the top states really have had a lot. And, I think you could probably add up the top 3 or 4 states, and it's probably
They make up the
2/3 of
majority.
the deaths came from those states.
Oh.
And I'll be honest with you, I haven't looked in a while because it was honestly, it's a little too depressing for me to watch what's going on in all the states. Maybe you all have been watching that, but 100,000 deaths, that's a lot of deaths. I think the early models, some were predicting that it could be that many, some were predicting it would be a little bit more, a little less.
Right,
And so,
right.
yeah, I think we're all just kind of living this day to day at this point. But so let's go back and focus in on North Carolina again. Actually, there was 11,000 tests done between yesterday and today.
Wow.
11,000. And of those 11,000 tests, 784 were positive. So that's about 7.1%. And if you do it overall, we've had in North Carolina 375,000 tests now in North Carolina. 25,412 of those have been confirmed positive cases, which is about 6.8%. So it's, it's kind of hovering around that 6.5–7% mark. The deaths went up by 33 from yesterday. We're at 827. I mentioned that already. And the hospitalizations, we were at 702 yesterday, and we're at 708 today. So not a huge increase from yesterday, but I think that's one of those statistics we need to be kind of keeping an eye on, the hospitalizations, because that's gone up significantly in the last few days or so, from that mid 500 range to jumped up to 700. So, and I'm not going to sit there and try and interpret those statistics. Is opening up phase 2 part of that process? Is that really what's driving the extra hospitalizations, or is it something else that's doing it? And that, I don't know. I don't know if anybody really knows that at this point. So we'll see how that works out. But and then just in the counties itself, Mecklenburg went up 127 cases from yesterday. They're at 3,605 cases. Wake's at 1,564. Durham's at 1,411. Guilford went up 36 cases from yesterday, so we're at 1,137. And Forsyth is at 1,081, which is 59 cases more. So, I've seen in the last couple of days, Forsyth is kind of quickly catching up to Guilford County here in its numbers. So, again, I think we're just going to continue to see this just drive. I'd love to sit here and say that these numbers are going to start dropping at some point, but as long as we keep increasing the testing, I think we're going to continue to see the cases coming on board. And then, I've been pointing this out as well, the number of cases that are in nursing homes and retirement communities, and there is 3,810 of those 25,000 cases. 3,810 are in nursing homes or have been residential care facilities. That is about 15% of the total. And then 497 of the deaths have come from nursing homes and residential care facilities, which is about 60%. And we are, and I didn't calculate that, that is, if I do that in my head, that's 123 nursing homes and residential care facilities that have it. And I want to say we were 119 yesterday, so it's gone up 4. And, we know that this is going to continue to go. I mentioned yesterday at one of our sister communities, we're hearing more and more reports of possible people that are, what they call the suspected positives. We're starting to see more and more of that in the area communities. And, I just think with phase 2 opening up, we're just going to continue to see the possibility that this could happen here. When we had 365 staff members that are out and about and coming in, we talked about that. We got residents that are going out now.
Right.
I'm just going to say, I don't think it's going to be if. I think it's just going to be a when now, when that might happen to us. And we've had a couple in the past here that we were not sure about, these were staff members and a resident, actually.
Right.
And we had them tested, and fortunately in those cases it came back negative. But, I think it's just going to be a matter of time.
Right.
So we'll just have to see.
Yes.
We'll just have to see, and we're hoping we keep it out of here. And I told you we'll announce it when we have one, and we have protocols in place to be able to take care of that. And then there's so much reporting that goes on. When you do have a case, you have to go through the Guilford County Health Department. You have to go through the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services and the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services. I mean, there's just a whole big reporting cycle that you have to do. So I hope we don't get one, but, we'll see what happens with that. All right. let's see. What else do we have, Lisa, besides the statistics?
Okay, well, since we have our big part coming up here, we just have one question today,
Okay.
which was asked by multiple people. So I thought it was a big one we should address today.
Right.
When can I physically go into the grocery store and the farmer's market and other retail stores? So that's a great question. I know everybody's chomping at the bit to get into stores. And our stance has been that we're never going to say at this point, go. It's safe.
We would love to say that.
Right, but we can't.
That would be wrong of us because we know that this is where you have your biggest chance of getting...
The potential's
the
there.
potential is there. So we are still recommending that you not go into those kinds of stores. You know, the farmer's market, if you can find a time at the farmer's market where there isn't hardly anybody there,
Sure.
and it's outside, so, you know, it's probably a little less risky than a grocery store would be, but...
Right.
Okay, so if you decide to go against our recommendation, which we know there are residents that are going to do that.
That's right.
Please remember the 3 W's when you're out there. Please remember to wear your mask. That is the best form of protection for you right now is your mask. So please wear your mask. If you have gloves, wear gloves. Wait and make sure that you are 6 feet apart from everybody else if you're out shopping. And the last one is when you get done, whether you come back into your car, if you have some sort of sanitizer or you have a wipe or something, wipe your hands down. I actually have gotten to this little habit when I end up doing something like that. Is I wipe my steering wheel down. I wipe down half my car when I'm doing it.
Sure.
Just because, you know, I'm trying to keep it clean. And if for some reason you don't have a wipe, you don't have a sanitizer, then please keep your hands away from your face until you get home. And then go right into your house or right into your home and wash your hands and use the sanitizers. If you're coming into the building here, there's sanitizer stations around. Use that. So protect yourself because by protecting yourself, you're protecting the community at the same time.
Right.
So.
And one thing that you did say, Tom, is don't go if you're going to do this, don't go during peak times.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't want to go to the farmer's market on a weekend.
No, please don't.
So that's
a
try
bad time
to avoid peak times if you're going to do this.
I would think like a Monday or Tuesday would be a good day to go.
Sure.
I don't know. We got our shopper here. What would you suggest as far as staying away from peak times?
I think
Middle of the week?
A Monday or Tuesday would be good. Probably there's more vendors on a Wednesday. So if you were to go on a Wednesday or Thursday, just go early.
Yeah.
Earlier in the day would be
Sure.
good. But sometimes you're missing some vendors earlier in the week. But I think a Wednesday would be a good day, but earlier in the day.
When people are working,
Right.
then that's perfect. So
But
And there's usually more inventory, too. They haven't been picked over yet.
sure. Okay.
But we've
Good
talked
tip.
about this. You know, a lot of the grocery stores have really ramped up now, and so you can get almost same-day delivery, if not next-day delivery at this point of
That's
groceries.
right, Tom.
Right.
So, you know, this is a great service. And in worst-case scenario is if they don't deliver here for you, worst thing you'd have to do is go there because you've already placed your order, and they put them right into your car for you, and you're not going anywhere near the store.
Right.
But I understand the allure of this. I know how hard it is because it's much easier to go pick out your own stuff.
It is.
It's hard to see what my specials might be. I mean, I get the other
right.
side of this. I know how hard this is. So we're telling you not to go, but if you go, please protect yourself.
Right.
Long-winded answer to a...
Yep, but that was a good question.
But it was
and
a
it's
good
been asked
question.
by multiple people,
It's a good
so
question.
good to address today.
Yes.
I think we're ready to kind of get into the exciting part.
Yay!
Okay?
Yeah,
This
I
is what
know.
everybody's been waiting
It's been a lot of anticipation for
Yes.
this, right?
Yep. So I hope we don't disappoint. I mean, we've been excited about this, but
We've been building this up for so long that maybe it's going to be a
I know.
letdown.
I don't know.
think so.
I think
don't
it's still exciting.
so.
So,
I don't think so.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
So before we dive into the actual details of the plan, let's just talk about it from more of a 1,000-foot level
Sure.
here. So we're very excited to be able to announce that on Monday, June 1st, this coming Monday, our dining plan as it exists now will go away. We will not be doing what we've been doing now. We are going to be opening up 2 of our restaurants we're going to be opening up Water's Edge right here in the main building, and we're going to be opening up the clubhouse again. We're doing soft openings.
Soft opening, yes.
Soft, just like we did when we were doing soft openings before. And we say soft partially because we can't do full capacity in there anyway.
Right,
and we'll
right.
get into those details in a bit.
Yep.
But we're going to be opening up the Water's Edge, and we're going to be opening up the clubhouse. And then the bistro will continue to operate, but there's going to be a good bit of changes in the bistro and how we're doing things in there. And so we need to go through those. But and then the other big piece of this is we are going to move away from the compartmentalization of outside residents and inside residents. So starting Monday, outside residents will be able to come back into the building. A lot of them are already starting to use the pool and the billiards room and those kinds of things.
Yep.
So this is just another progression of that with the dining rooms. And so we think it's time to go ahead and decompartmentalize, if you want to, and allow the outside folks to come in. However, that is going to mean, and I really want to make this point first, we're going to have a lot more people in the main building. And whether you have taken our mask requirement as a requirement or as a recommendation, it's going to be a requirement now. We are going to be asking all of our residents to wear masks when they are in any of our public spaces. So that means anywhere here in the main building, except in their apartments, of course, if you live in an apartment.
Sure.
But anywhere in the dining venues, hallways, anywhere you're going to be in a public space, we want you to be wearing the mask. That, again, that is your best form of protection. Clubhouse as well. Now, the only exception to not wearing the masks, Lisa, is when they're eating.
Correct.
If you're in a
You have to take
restaurant
off the
eating, it's a
mask.
little hard to eat if you have a
It would
mask
be,
on.
yes.
I don't know how you would siphon the food through your mask to be able to get that work.
It could be
So-
interesting. I don't know.
Yes, but we want to make sure that we make that clear. If you're
Right.
eating, now we want you to have your mask at your table, but you know we realize obviously that you need to be able to eat and drink without
Right.
your mask on. So,
And when you're outside, Tom,
yeah,
that's an area you wouldn't have to have your mask on.
that is correct. Yeah,
If you're out exercising
Yeah.
or walking and you're far enough away from people, that's also a safe area not to wear it.
that's correct. Yeah, we have always said that the outside, as long as you're maintaining 6 foot
Right.
difference between you, you should be okay. So that's the overall general picture of the plan, and we're very excited about that.
We are.
But there's a lot of detail that goes
There's a
into
lot of
this.
details.
And
It's-
so before we get into the detail, we'll just say we've got a plan that we're going to be putting out in boxes tonight, and a nice little letter from me that Cindy helped me write, because she's very good at this, that is going to
So
go
if
with
you
it.
like it, Tom wrote it. If you don't like it, Cindy did. So
Lisa, I couldn't have said that better myself. I'm telling you, this is great. Thank you. Yes. So anyway, I'm really excited. I can tell you our dining team is really
they're
excited. You know, just like you all, they're ready for the change back. And
They
this is
are.
a step back now towards, you know, what we used to know. And so, and then maybe just before we get into the plan a little bit too, you know, it's a soft opening. You know, we can only do 50% capacity. So please be patient during the first couple weeks as we get rolling with this thing, because, you know, the staff and the kitchens and all are going to have to go back from doing the batch cooking now, which we had to start up again. We're going to be going away from the batch cooking and going back to the made-to-order cooking. So it's going to take a little bit to be able to go back and get back into that groove and swing of things. So please be patient with us over the next couple weeks. But the great thing about this is you'll be able to choose your own food, and there's going to be a lot more choices,
Yes.
obviously. So it's going to be very exciting.
and a lot of those great choices we've been missing, like the salmon, some
Yes.
steak options,
Yes.
all those great dishes that we had on our menus before.
Yes.
They're coming back.
Yes.
It's exciting.
And
I don't even get to eat that, but it's exciting.
I know. It is exciting. It is. This is very exciting. And the outside residents, so, you know, you're not going to be calling in and ordering up at the clubhouse. You're not going to be picking up food at the clubhouse anymore. The clubhouse will go back to being truly a eat-in only dining area. So residents, again, will have a choice of making a reservation and eating in the clubhouse, making a reservation, eating in the water's edge, or calling in for their food and placing an order in the bistro, or coming down to the bistro or coming into the bistro and going to one of the stations and making your order. So I wanted to repeat it again. I just felt like that was important to be able to say. So I know one of the things we talked about was the in-house mailboxes for the outside residents.
Right.
That's going to move back down here. So
that'll be Monday as well.
That'll be Monday
right
as well.
In with the dining changes.
And we got Whitney here. She's going to talk a lot about her piece of this that she's been doing in the last couple months.
Right.
But let's get into the details of the plan first.
Sure.
And I don't know where you want to start, Lisa. Where do you want to start at?
Well, let's see. Should we start with an easier one first?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So to me, an easier one, of course, is the Deep River Coffee and Creamery.
That's really easy.
That's really the easiest one. So, right, how we have it now, outside folks have had to call in their orders, Tom.
Yes.
So that's why this will change on Monday as well.
That's right.
So we're not going to have delivery from there anymore because you get to come in and pick out your ice cream,
Yes.
pick out your pastries,
Yes.
specialty drinks, the coffees, all that good stuff.
Right.
So that's exciting. It's
is.
another place that you can come here and pick out some items. And we're also going back to our usual times, which was 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Monday through Saturday. And then we have the adjusted time on Sunday, which was what it used to be, 8 to 3. So we have a lot of great times open.
Yeah.
Great way to get some of your treats again.
Yeah.
And that will be Monday, opened up to everybody to come back again.
Now, Lisa, it's an easy one, but it's also we are not yet prepared to have anybody eat there
Right.
in the creamery at this point.
Right.
We're not prepared to do that yet. So
Right.
it's takeout only.
It's takeout only.
Right.
Yes. So I think we took care of that one, Tom.
That was an easy
That was
one.
easy.
All right. Well, let's work our way backwards. Why
Okay.
don't we do the clubhouse next?
Clubhouse.
Yeah.
This is exciting.
Yeah.
Okay. So the clubhouse, hours and days of operation. So when we looked at it, we of course have lunch and dinner times. We're doing extended hours because we know with only being 50% capacity, it will take longer for people to get through that dining experience. So 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., it's kind of an open time when you want to do a lunch and dinner. That's Monday through Saturday.
It's an open time, but remember,
open.
this is reservations. You
all
have
reservation.
to make a reservation.
Yes.
You cannot
Clubhouse
just
is only
pop in.
reservation.
Right.
Yes. So the dining team will schedule it so we have our capacity at one time. So that's pretty exciting. And then they will also have lunch on Sundays, and that will be from 11 to 2. So we're not having a brunch buffet at this point.
Right.
The buffets are not something that we can tackle at this point
Right.
with contamination and things like that. So it will still be off of the clubhouse menu.
Right.
So you may ask, what's the clubhouse menu? We barely got to try it, right?
We only had about 2
2
weeks
weeks,
of the soft opening
then we
before
had
we
to
had to
shut
shut
it
it
down.
down. So
So Chef James has come up with a hybrid of the clubhouse menu from the lunch menu, the Hilltop Pub menu, and the supper menu in the clubhouse. So it's really a combination of all of that. So it'll be one menu that can be used all day from 11 to 7.
yeah, and that's the
it's
start.
great. It's great choices at this point.
Yeah.
In addition to that menu, there'll also be regular specials. So it's not just that menu. There's also specials that they'll be creating up there.
Yeah.
So that's very exciting. Only difference that's available on Sundays, since we're not doing that special brunch per se, they will have available the shrimp cocktails and the cheese blintzes on Sunday only.
Oh boy.
So that's
Yeah.
a nice little addition on Sundays.
Yeah.
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 Give us a little bit of that brunch feel.
And at least I think it's important to point out, I don't think we actually have this in the, I just realized this, we don't have this in our little plan here. But with the limited seating, we can seat about 60 people at one time in the clubhouse, if I remember correctly. Isn't that right?
It's right around there.
Okay.
Yes.
I know we were fluctuating a little bit with the numbers, so.
I think it is.
And she doesn't sound confident in your numbers.
I know,
No,
she didn't
I
sound
think
tough.
it
The
was right
last I
around
heard
there.
it was 60. I
Because
thought
we're actually using the pub area and the overlook.
That's
and,
right.
And between the two.
And remember,
absolutely.
we're trying to keep tables separated from each other. We're trying to
Right.
keep tables at
Right.
least 6 feet apart.
Yes.
And some of you might remember right before we did the shutdown, we had tables at 6 foot apart.
Right.
So
right. We did.
yeah.
We did. So let's see. Is there takeout and delivery, Tom, out of the clubhouse?
there is not at this time.
There is not. So this is an area that is just dine in.
Now, that may come in the future, but we're not there yet.
Yep, just not there yet. So.
And Lisa, are we going to be, because this will be a question, are we going to be able to provide shuttle service up there?
So at this point, we're not providing shuttle service. With the bus and people being all kind of in that bus in a confined space, we are not comfortable with that at this point. So for right now, so I know for folks that maybe live down here in the main building, that's a little disadvantage. But if you can walk up there, if you have friends that want to dine with you that live outside, they can swing by and pick you up. You may drive yourself. I mean, that's also an option. So for right now, we just have to be careful with any type of bus service. Maybe that will come down the road here, that we can add that back in again.
Right. Yeah, I'm hoping that we'll get to that point, but we're not there yet.
Just not there yet.
Right.
So we'll work toward that.
So, Lisa, what if I'm going to the clubhouse and I have a reservation for 5 o'clock, let's say, and I get there about 15 minutes early?
Sure.
Am I just going to be standing around waiting? Do I have any options of what
You have options.
What can you do, Lisa?
Okay. The best part with the clubhouse to me is that veranda.
Yeah.
You can go out while you're waiting for your reservation, because we don't want everybody just congregating in an area.
Right.
So that veranda will be a perfect spot. You could grab a drink in the pub and head out to the veranda. We'll have tables and chairs out there that are 6 feet apart for you to be able to wait out there while your reservation is coming to be. So it's pretty exciting.
It is.
And the view right now, it looks gorgeous. From down here, it looks gorgeous up there.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see it from the actual veranda.
We don't have umbrellas up there, though. So
We
if
don't.
it's
No
raining,
umbrellas.
that might be a little hard to do.
Then we'll probably have to use the T-side room as an area that people could gather in. We'll make sure we have seating in there that's
sprinkling
socially
weather.
distancing. So absolutely. But that's
exciting.
exciting.
And again, the clubhouse, because I think it's important to kind of reemphasizing, clubhouse is for everybody. That's not just for folks living outside. It's inside and outside. And, you know, because we compartmentalize it. So people got used to the fact that the clubhouse was really outside, and that's gone. That part is gone away now. So, so anybody can use the clubhouse.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. And, you know, I think just being open to different times to dine up there will help you as well. There's a lot of opportunities, but it may not always be that you can get that 12 o'clock time for lunch. So maybe if you can be flexible and say, I'll eat at 1 today.
Yep.
That might end up being a better time. Right. So I think just be willing to be open to maybe some different times. A lot of folks want an opportunity to dine up there.
Yeah.
And we feel with having 8 hours available, you should be able to find an opportunity.
So Lisa, what if I'm one of those kind of people that likes to kind of eat only one meal? I don't like to eat lunch or dinner, but I like to eat at 3 o'clock. Can I do that at 3 o'clock?
Absolutely.
So
absolutely, and you probably would have the place to yourself. So there's not a lot of folks that would do that. But if you're someone that wants that in-between meal, that probably will end up being a perfect time.
So reservation-wise, you can make a reservation anytime between 11 and 7.
Between 11 and 7, reservation anytime.
Okay, great.
So
good.
We can get away from those non-traditional their traditional times of eating.
Right.
And maybe go for a non-traditional time. So
yeah,
it might be better for you.
Okay. All right. Should we move over to the water's edge here, down here?
Okay.
Yes.
The water's edge.
So talk to us about the water's edge, Lisa.
Okay. The hours and days for this will be 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. So once again, it's the open dining time. You can schedule a reservation anytime between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m.
Yes.
So whenever you would like to schedule that and have a meal would be super. Now, the water's edge is going to make up the tidal water room, the water's edge, and also at this point the Wayfarer. So that's how
all that
we're going to use all of those 3 areas to get our capacity.
Right.
To be able to use 50% of that space. So that helps us with our numbers.
And Lisa, kind of going back to the same thought we did with the clubhouse, this is roughly about 100 people we can seat at one time.
It's a little bit larger space there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we're using all 3 of those areas. We can do up to 100 people at a time.
Right, right. So we feel there's plenty of opportunities, Tom, to be able to get into one of our restaurants.
Absolutely.
So I think we're pretty good with that. The Water's Edge menu will be the menu that we use.
So it's no changes to the
So-
Water's Edge menu. It's what we've been
Nope,
using
it's
up
the
to,
Water's
up
Edge,
to the time we close.
and also having weekly specials as well in there.
Great.
So, and just like up at the clubhouse on Sundays, you're still going to follow the Water's Edge menu. No special Sunday brunch, but we will have the shrimp cocktail and the cheese blintzes in there as well. So either the clubhouse or the Water's Edge, each one can accommodate that on a Sunday.
Super. That's great.
Yes. It is reservations required again.
Yep.
Takeout and delivery. Those are both available from that menu. So that's exciting too. That's a new option.
So different than the clubhouse,
It
which
is.
we can't do.
It is, right.
We feel like we can do this
We
for
can
Water's
do it
Edge.
from down here. Yes.
So you can call up and order and come and pick it up.
Absolutely. And
Right.
so on the sheets that you'll be getting, you'll have information of what the takeout procedure is as well as the delivery procedure. We are doing deliveries from here only for people that are on quarantine or sick,
Right.
of course. So that way we're helping those folks out.
Right.
But I think everybody else is ready to come out, Tom. So
I think they are, too.
I think not many people want delivery anyway.
Yes. Our
They're ready
outside
to come
residents
out.
can hop into their golf carts and come down
Exactly.
here. And,
Exactly.
Yeah, I think
yes.
it'll be fun.
Yep. So that's exciting. And the takeouts, when you call in to take out an order, the pickups will be in the creamery area. So that's another reason right now we're not having the dine-in in the creamery area. That's our pickup location.
yeah, and we think that we're going to have a lot of residents that are going to want
Yep.
to do that. So,
Okay.
was there anything else on the Water's Edge?
I don't think so. I think that was
No.
it.
Yeah. So that's good.
Okay. Now we get to the hard one, Tom.
The hard one, yes. Or the one that's got the most involved anyway,
And it's
right?
a whole page.
Yes. Yes.
So the bistro.
Yes.
Okay, starting on Monday.
Wait a minute. Take a deep breath, everybody. Take a deep breath because the bistro is going to be different.
It is going to
right?
be different.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So as of Monday, when we start out, it's open to inside and outside folks, but there's a few little caveats of
The little wrinkles.
times and all that good stuff.
Right.
So breakfast will still be 7:30 to 9:30. Any independent resident can come to breakfast there.
Right.
Doesn't matter if you live outside, inside. Now it's open to inside and outside for
It's
breakfast.
kind of going back to what we had
It
before.
is. It's going back to exactly what we had.
Yes.
So that part hasn't changed any. Breakfast is probably the only piece that hasn't changed.
That's correct.
So-
Well, except for the fact that the outside residents now can come
That's
in.
true, but it's back to normal.
But you can't eat in the
You
dine-
can't.
You can't.
There is no dine-in.
Yeah.
Breakfast,
Not
lunch,
yet.
or dinner.
Not yet.
There's no dine-in. There's just no way to make that space possible and have a
We need
a line
space to
through
be able
there.
to do the line
Right.
for people that are going to be coming
right.
into the bistro.
We just can't make that happen with that.
So that part will feel the same. Our
Right.
inside residents know that already with the
Right,
6-foot
right.
arrows and all. But for you outside residents, we have
It'll
these
be a little
arrows
different.
set up, and you're going to be waiting in a line to be able to come through the bistro to get your items. And it is takeout only at that point. You're
Right.
picking up, you're ordering, you're getting, and you're taking out at that point.
Okay, so here we come to the fun part.
All right.
Lunch and dinner.
Yes.
Once again, it's going to be an open time from 11 to 7. So 8 hours again, we're serving lunch and dinner time.
Right.
But in order to kind of control some of the crowds a little bit, because
During the peak times, right?
during the peak times,
Right.
we don't want everybody rushing in at 11:30,
Right.
inside and outside. Everybody's trying to get in.
You won't like it, I promise you, if you do that. 'cause
No,
you're going to
no.
be waiting so long
It's
that
just too many people to be able to do that.
Right.
So inside residents, from 11 to 12, you can come down to the bistro. Or, of course, you can get a reservation at the Water's Edge of the clubhouse. The
That's
bistro's not your only option for lunch. 12 o'clock to 1, outside residents only. So that way we're kind of splitting up the group a little bit.
Right.
If you're someone that doesn't mind eating at 1 o'clock, from 1 until 5, any residents can come.
That's correct.
So maybe you like to eat at 1:30. Come on
Perfect.
in. Yes, that's a non-peak time. So
Right.
that, to me, would probably be a good time to aim for. And then we're going to divide it up again at supper time. So between 5 and 6, inside residents only. And between 6 and 7, outside residents only. So just remember, the bistro is one of your options. You still have 2 other options. So, as we were talking about, there is going to be peak times.
Yeah,
That's
there
why
is.
we kind of split up those times.
We felt like we had to, and maybe we need to
Right.
explain why we think there's going to be wait times compared to what we're doing now. Lisa.
Yes, yes.
So why don't you explain?
So the menu part has changed somewhat. So because we can't have the self-serve salad bar right now and the self-serve little hot bar that we had, we are going to be doing all a la carte items. So we're going to be making everything to order as you come in. So those areas off to the side there, we won't have those up and running. So when you come in, you're coming up to the sandwich area where Kathleen is. You know, we all know Kat. She is ready for you all to come back.
She's very excited.
She is. She's going to be back making your sandwiches fresh,
Yep.
your salads fresh. All that's going to go back to the way she used to do it. So because of that, it does take a little bit longer making things to order. None of this is going to be sitting prepared and ready to go.
No, it's all
You're
made to
coming
order.
up and telling her what you want on that salad.
Right.
So that's why expect that there's going to be a little bit of a delay there. There will be wait time in line. That doesn't happen in a second. When we had the hot bar, you scoop and go.
Right.
You know, that's a whole different kind of operation. But this is, you're making fresh food ready for you. So we're very excited about it, but it does take more time that way.
Yeah, so Lisa said this, but because of handling the utensils, we cannot do the salad bar.
Right.
We cannot do the hot bar at this point. We're moving
Right.
away from that.
Right, right.
So it's really all just made to order. So I think it's great because what it does now is it opens back up the menu for all the made-to-order items in the bistro.
Exactly. Yep.
All of those menu items
Right.
will be open again. All those salads, all those sandwiches, all those things that
Pizzas.
you like.
Yes.
That you like to have your variations on, and I'm one of them because I like to get a special salad when
Absolutely.
I'm there that
yes.
they make for me.
The grilled items. I mean, all
Grilled,
of that.
all
I
that.
mean, there's probably 25 plus items that you could choose from on a daily basis.
But I think you're starting to see one of the challenges going to be in the bistro is, especially during the peak times when there's a lot of residents there ordering, it's going to be a slower process.
Right.
And so you may be standing in line a longer time.
Right.
To
right.
be able to get through that line. And so we just want people to be prepared for that. That's part of the reason why we split off the peak times between outside and inside folks, was just to try and help kind of bridge that a little bit.
Right,
But
right.
like you said, come early, come late, might be better, you might find it.
Right.
And
right.
if you want a quick meal, Lisa,
Yes.
the bistro's not it unless you're going to go during off times. The
Right.
quick meal is what? How do they get a quick meal?
Okay. If you want a quick meal, call in and
Yes.
place an order.
That's right.
And you can pick that up at the creamery. So
Yes.
even off of the bistro menu, you can call that in and you pick it up over at the creamery. So that's our pickup area. So if you're someone that don't want to wait in line, this is the way to do it. You call in
Yes.
and they'll make it for you and it'll be in the creamery for you to pick up. So that's the best way to do it. Or if you're someone that likes to have a leisurely lunch, schedule something in the water's edge of the clubhouse. That way you have a reservation, you know when you're going to eat. You can come on in and sit down and be able to enjoy that meal. So it all depends what you want that day.
Sure. Skip the grocery store. Come and have a nice
Sure.
long meal in the
Absolutely.
the water's edge.
Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So I think this is really exciting, Lisa.
It is. It
Yeah.
is.
And this is something different for us, as we go through with the bistro. It's going to take a little getting used to.
It is. Right.
As we
right.
go along.
It's an
But I think
adjustment.
it's very exciting, and the food is all going to be made to order, so it's all going to be fresh right there for you.
Right,
And I
right.
think that's going to go really well, considering we've been doing the batch cooking for the
Absolutely.
last 2.5 months.
right.
I think this is a really welcome
And
change.
for outside folks, they get to see the food again before
Yeah.
they get it. So
Yeah.
that's an exciting piece as well.
That's correct. So
And one more thing to point out with the bistro, that will be where your grab-and-go items are. So
Right.
that's your cereals, your breads, your eggs, your yogurts, things like that you've been getting. For outside folks, you've been getting that up in the clubhouse. For inside folks, it will be like you've been having that. So,
and they can have that all day long, right? 7:30
yes,
to 7.
Yes, yep. And it still have the limit of the two items on there.
Yeah, and we probably also need to point out for our outside residents who didn't see how the bistro was set up, there's one way into the bistro and one way out.
Right.
And
right.
you'll see the arrows. We're going to actually make more arrows that
more.
are going to come outside into the hallway that'll be 6 feet apart, because we just anticipate that there could be quite a
Right.
few residents that are going to be wanting to use the bistro.
Right.
So So you'll see that. But we want to make sure you understand. Please do not walk directly into the left-hand side. As you're looking at that front entrance going into the bistro, you're going to the right. There's a sanitizer machine that's there that you can sanitize with. We'll be taking your temperature.
You get your temperature check.
Like we've been doing.
Yes.
Matter of fact, we're going to do that in all 3 of our restaurants at this point. We'll be taking your temperatures there, which is not unusual. You all have been doing that. You know we've been doing that anyway.
Right.
So.
Yep.
Whew. Lisa, is that it?
Well, let's look at the back, Tom, just to see if there's some other, like, some other general dining information.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, let's talk about this.
Because we're starting on Monday, so we're going from the hot bar preparation and process on Sunday and straight into restaurants Monday.
Right.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Our dining team needs a little time to do that.
Yes.
So we are going to close down our dining venue Sunday night to be able to prepare for this.
Right.
So we'll have Sunday lunch here at both the bistro and the clubhouse, just like you regularly have been doing. But Sunday night, we will not have our operations open.
That's right.
So we'll have a boxed meal available for you at lunchtime if you want it. You don't have to take it. But if you'd like that for Sunday night, we will have that available for you during the lunchtime period. That's just going to give our staff time to transition.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really changing processes, and we want to make it as smooth as we can. Also, on that Sunday, 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock, so 1 o'clock in the afternoon to 7 o'clock at night, you could start making your reservations for Monday. And we are only going to allow you make 1 day in advance reservations.
Yeah.
So when you call to make that, and the reason we're doing that is we don't want folks, one person calls in and said, I'll take 12 o'clock for the next 5 days. We don't feel that's really fair to everybody. Everybody should have the same opportunity to get some of those peak times and some of those times we traditionally like to eat. So we feel doing 1 day in advance gives us the best opportunities for everybody, the whole community to have chances. But since we are starting Monday, we are going to have reservations where you can call in from 1 to 7 on Sunday, and that's on your sheets here, so you'll have all that information.
But Lisa, that's just a 1 day thing,
That is.
right?
That's just the 1 day exception.
That's just to get prepared for Monday.
It is.
After Sunday,
Then it's
what's the normal hour for
then
calling?
it's 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
So
that you can call.
So you can call between 9 and 7, and we've got all the phone numbers in here.
We do.
That will direct you to either the bistro, for reservations,
Yep.
it'd be the Water's Edge
and
or
the
for the clubhouse.
Yes, yep. So normally it'll be 9 a.m. And we do have a timestamp on our messages. We've had some issues in the past with reservations. We tell folks to call after 9, and they start calling early. Well, we have a timestamp on there. So if you've called before the scheduled time, we're going to start with folks that called in at the time they were supposed to. So you want to make sure, wait until 9 o'clock to start making those calls.
Yeah, don't call at 8:55.
No,
That's
it's
just not fair.
It's just not fair to the community.
And
so
honestly, we won't recognize that.
we won't recognize that. So, okay, when making reservations, our tables are going to be set up for 2 to 4 people. So a 4-top is the biggest table that we will have available for reservations.
Right.
So when you're calling in and you want to dine with another couple, have one of you call in and make reservations for the 4 of you. That way multiple people don't have to be calling. It might get a little confusing. So go ahead and have one of your groups call in for you, one of your people in the group. The regulation with the tables is that the tables from each party have to be 6 feet apart, not people in the same party.
Right.
So if you come up with another couple, the 4 of you have decided, I feel comfortable dining with this group. So when you come in, your actual table, you may get in there and wonder, how can we even be 6 feet apart? You won't be. Your party will be at a table that fits for your group. But the tables themselves will be 6 feet apart from the other parties that are up there.
So let's go through that again real quick, because I think that's a little confusing.
It's confusing.
So the most you could have at a table is 4.
4.
Well, most of our residents are either singles or couples. I don't know of any that we have that are 3.
Right.
So we're expecting most of our reservations to be single people or a couple coming in and reserving times. And we are not sanctioning per se that you eat with another couple or have another individual eat with you. But if you decide to do that, then you can have a party up to 4. But
Yes.
we want you to know that that's on you. That's your risk. You need to be comfortable with the people that you're eating with. We will not seat you with other people. You know, when you make a reservation, you're making a reservation for 1, 2, 3, or 4 people. So I think we just want to make sure that that's not confusing for people to understand that.
Right, right. But if you are single people, you can get a couple single peoples together.
That is
if
correct.
You
We're
want
not
to.
saying that you can't.
Yep.
Just again, it kind of goes back to what we were talking about yesterday with the bridge. We're not sanctioning that you play bridge. We don't think that that's right because you can't keep that 6-foot distance. But if you feel comfortable with 3 other people, then you feel like, you know what, I'm not taking a whole lot of risk by playing bridge with these 3.
Yep.
And you can do that. It's the same concept here in the dining area.
Right, absolutely.
Okay.
So that might, it's a little confusing. So
Hopefully
that
that's as clear as mud.
I'm sure it is. So we might get more questions
We might
on that.
be restating that again
We
tomorrow
might
because I'm
be.
sure we'll get some
We
questions
might be,
about that.
yes. And we might have to experience it next week to see how that
Yeah,
works too. So some of this is, we'll have to experience it.
That's right.
So.
That's right.
Due to the new requirements, we will not be able to have shareable items at the table either. So that's also a change during all of this. So what's a shareable item? That is your salt and pepper shakers, things like that. A bread basket.
Oh.
We can't put a bread basket out.
Yeah.
So servers will come around and they'll have to serve you the bread. So things like that we've had to all think about.
Yeah.
Of course, the cleaning protocols have changed.
Right.
So Joseph and his team have been really getting a lot of training this week as we're preparing for that because it's different. It's different training than what currently is.
Right.
There might be condiment packets that they have to use instead of items that
Like
you
a ketchup
share.
bottle or a mustard
right,
bottle or
exactly. So there'll be things like that. Just don't be surprised. It might look a little different
Yeah.
than what you've had in the past because of the requirements now.
Right.
Menus.
Yeah.
We can't hold our beautiful, nice, leather-bound menus.
Right.
We have to have disposable menus.
Right.
So you'll get a paper menu, and after that table's done with it, then it gets tossed. So we'll be going through a little more paper, but that's just something we have to do right now. You can't have reusable menus.
Yeah. Exactly.
The self-serve area in the bistro where the beverages are, we will have someone manned there to get you your drinks from the fountains because with that area, you could be touching multiple areas.
Right.
So we have to have someone that's there manning it. So different things like that. You'll just see some little tweaks in our operation to make this work.
Right. What else,
Let's
Lisa?
see. That might be.
Where are we?
Oh,
Specials going to be posted at, right?
specials, yes. So on Care Merge on Thursdays going forward, the specials, there will still be the specials in the Water's Edge, the Bistro, and the Clubhouse. Those will be put on Care Merge and also on Channel 1390. So that way everybody gets Channel 1390, take a look at the specials so you know what they are for the week. Kind of helps you prepare as you come into the dining room to know what the specials are already. One more big thing, Tom.
Oh, is there another big thing?
Yes.
So it hasn't to do anything with this Disney World.
It doesn't. It has to
Okay.
do with alcohol,
Oh, alcohol, yes.
which Whitney knows a lot about.
Boy, do
Right?
I.
Okay, just as a reminder, your dining dollars cannot be used for alcohol in the clubhouse.
Yes.
That's a private purchase. We put it on your monthly resident River Landing bill.
Right.
So
That's
you'll get that on.
just like it was before we went
It
into
is.
this.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
That
So
we-
just as a reminder,
Right.
we have had that question. So
Have we already had
Yeah.
that question? Okay.
it's better to just go ahead
Go
and
ahead and
address
address
that.
it. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So, Lisa, basically, we have gone over this entire plan.
Pretty much, it's a 4-pager, so
Yeah.
when you get it, make sure you really read through all of it, because there's just a lot of
Yes.
little details.
There is. And if you're having trouble with insomnia, pull this out tonight or next night.
This'll
and
take care of
This
it.
will help you. I promise you this will help you with that. So, or read my letter that goes along with it. So.
Oh,
Okay, so, I know that was a lot of information, but I think
yes.
it's so exciting, and our dining team is really excited about it. I would think 99% of our residents are going to be excited about what we're doing. I know that there's still some, some that may not have a true appreciation for all that we're trying to do here, but
Right.
we got to walk before we can run. And
Right.
so we're trying to walk, and this is our way of doing it. And we have had multiple meetings with our dining team trying to create this plan for you all so we can kind of get rocking and rolling
Right,
again.
right.
So we feel really good about it.
I do too.
And I think, with a little massage as we go along the next few weeks as we start this thing, we can make this plan work for everybody.
Like you
So
said before, Tom, it's like a soft opening all over again.
it is.
But we have to work out some of the kinks.
We do.
So,
Hopefully we'll get them worked out pretty fast.
Yeah.
So, okay, now there's a cause and effect to this, right?
absolutely.
So, Whitney's been running a tremendous effort. And, let me just say this publicly, Whitney. You and Jill and your team up there, have done such a great job of doing all this ordering for residents and going to the ABC store and
Yes.
strawberries and
Exactly.
you name it. You've been doing all these things for
Yeah.
residents. And so, now that we're getting to a point where we're opening up the restaurants, we're going to start scaling back on some of the things that you're doing. Besides that, we need to start getting you freed up a little bit to start with getting us ready for our wellness center, which, by the way, I think we're looking maybe now that it's not going to be August that we get to open that. It might actually be July that we get to open that. So we're excited because we may be just a little less than 2 months away from opening that. It's looking really good.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's going to be very nice.
So we're excited. So we got to start kind of weaning the process back a little bit, what we've been doing. And so I know you and Lisa have been working really hard on this, so I'm going to shut up and let you two go ahead and start talking about kind of what some of the changes are going to be and what's going to feel like. Because we can't have that operation running up at the clubhouse at the same time that we're trying to run the clubhouse as a restaurant. So
Right.
big change
Right,
there is
right.
the operation's going to grow smaller and it's going to move, right?
Right.
Have a
right.
little shift there.
So why don't you kind of
Yeah.
talk about all that
Okay.
a little bit?
Well, Lisa, I think I'm just going to kind of work
Yes.
my way down
Perfect.
the list.
Perfect.
So this will go out in your mailbox, a flyer that describes all these changes. But first, we'll start with the online grocery ordering. So that's still an option for you to be able to obtain your supplies and your groceries that you need. But the one change here is, and some people have already been doing this for a few days now, but you can go and pick up your own groceries at the grocery store now. So what we're asking you to do is place your orders online like you have been doing, and then you can go to the grocery store yourself and get those groceries, and you don't have to get out of your car. So
Right,
you're
right.
pulling right up, you touch a button, and you give them your name at most of these grocery stores, and they bring the items out and place them in your trunk. And so we're asking you to get those groceries for yourself if you're able.
Right.
Now, if you depend on River Landing transportation, like you maybe used to take the trips to Walmart or to Harris Teeter, we can still assist you with getting your groceries. So don't worry. If you're worried, maybe you don't drive anymore, you don't have a car anymore,
Exactly.
don't be worried. We're still going to be able to go and get those groceries for you if you need us to.
Yes.
And so there's information there. You're still just going to call me or send me an email. And Jill has been tremendous in helping with this, helping do these grocery orders. I wouldn't be able to do it without her and our transportation folks and all the people at the clubhouse. We've had a really good team.
Had a great team.
Yeah, it makes me a
Yes.
little sad that we're going to kind of be going in
Disbanding a little bit.
in
Right.
other directions.
Sure.
But we'll still be able to help you with that. So no fear there if you need assistance with your grocery ordering. You can still use Instacart. So we have lots of residents who are taking advantage of Instacart. We actually had about 7 deliveries this morning.
Great.
And so Instacart's still a great option. You can choose your grocery store, choose your items, and a delivery person will bring them here. Now, this is a big change. Normally, the Instacart driver has gone to the clubhouse, and we have received the groceries and then taken them where they need to go. Well, now, if you live in a cottage and you're on the outside,
Or in the hybrids.
or
Or the hybrids are we delivering? I'm sorry.
no, we're delivering in the
Thank
hybrids.
you.
Yep.
Sorry. I said I was going to shut up. I need to shut up.
You got too excited. So if you live in a cottage, then the Instacart driver can come right to your home and make that delivery. Now, we still want to encourage you not to get close to that person. They can bring your groceries and set them right down. If you're getting alcohol, they're going to need to see your driver's license, and you can show that to them right through the door. What they do is take a picture of the back of it to prove that they're not giving it to somebody underage. So they'll come right to your house. Now, if you live inside the building, we're going to send that Instacart driver to the front desk area. And from there, they're going to drop the groceries. And so the times are still going to be, well, actually, the times are going to be adjusted a little bit. But from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., we are going to have somebody at the front desk who's going to be responsible for accepting deliveries and taking them where they need to go. So that's Instacart. And, of course, you can always give me a call if you have questions. Another big change with Instacart, and this is very important, now you are going to put your home address, your personal address, in the delivery section. So say you live on McCorkle Circle. You are going to put that, your physical address, into the delivery section. So no special instructions or anything like that anymore. Just put your address in there.
That's for the people that live outside.
And inside.
And inside.
And inside.
Oh,
everybody's going to put their personal address. So if you're on the inside, you'd be putting 1575 John Knox Drive, apartment, such and such. You're still going to do that. Okay? So that's Instacart. You still have the option to order items online and have them delivered through the mail. So if you're ordering from Amazon or Target or Walmart or anything like that, you can still do that online and have things delivered through the mail. That's always a good option. The next thing we'll talk about is prescription pickups. So this is a big one. We've been doing a lot of prescription pickups. Before this all started, you were getting your medications. We're going to go back to doing that. So if you use Walgreens or CVS, something like that, you can go out to the drugstore, go through the drive-thru, and pick up your medications. Another important thing, and it's listed in here, is Deep River Drug. They deliver medications to River Landing daily, so that's another good place to use. If you don't want to drive out to Walgreens, you can always call Deep River Drug and get that switched over. That's an option.
Or if you're like in a Costco or something like that.
Yeah, if you're...
It'd be much better to switch to Deep River.
That's right. It may be more convenient for you, not have to go into one of those huge stores to get that.
Right.
And the other thing about Deep River is they carry other supplies like hairspray, shampoo, incontinence products, that type of thing. And you can call them and add that to your order, and they bring it right here. So Deep River's been wonderful to work with.
They've been service.
Yep, very helpful during this time. And the information is there if you want to call them. But you can always give me a call, and I can walk you through it, too, if you've got questions about your medication. And we do have residents who take advantage of mail order. If they've got a consistent prescription that they use, mail order can sometimes be helpful. And usually you get a bigger supply. So it may be a 90-day supply instead of having to go every month. All right, up next, you can have friends and family members drop off items. Now, friends and family members, no matter if you're on the outside or the inside, those family members will be directed to the front desk.
Right.
So we're still going to receive all of that right at the front desk, and then our delivery folks will get that to you no matter where you live. We just feel like that's the safest option right now for our residents, because we have not opened the community up to guests at this point.
That is correct. No visitors or guests or family members yet at this point.
So from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 days a week, we'll be accepting deliveries from friends and family. Now, we did put something in here about grocery and retail stores, and we hit on this a little bit earlier, I think, Lisa, with the question that was asked. But we're discouraging you from going into the store. We want you to take advantage of online ordering and pick up. But if you decide on your own to go in, we want you to wear your mask and maintain social distance and wash your hands frequently.
Yeah, that's good. The 3 W's.
3 W's. Okay. The next thing is the food boxes. So we've been ordering the fruit and vegetable boxes, the Stay Healthy boxes, and the basic boxes. We're going to do that until June 1st. So I will accept orders until Monday if you want to get in one last order. Moving forward, we are not going to be providing that through River Landing. However, if you have enjoyed your box and you want to continue to receive one of those boxes, there is information about how to do that on your own. So there's a pickup at the farmer's market for those fruit and vegetable boxes. There's a number to call, and it gives you instructions here. And also for the basic box that had the meats in it, you can order that online on your own. And the big change, though, is you will not be able to use your dining dollars.
Right.
So that will stop starting next week. But you've got a lot of options now here with our...
Right.
And
The reason is the dining venues will be opened back up again.
That's
exactly.
So the food boxes were kind of that stopgap to help you with supplement some of those areas.
That's right.
That's right. All right, the ABC store. I'm going to just tell y'all real quick.
Boy.
I don't think I've mentioned this to Lisa. Maybe I did. But when I went Tuesday, they offered me a job. They asked me if I wanted to fill out an application because now I go in. It used to be I'd go in, I didn't know where anything is. Well, now I go in, I know where it all is. Customers are asking me where a specific type of rum is, where a specific type of vodka, and I can tell them.
You can probably tell them the price, too.
Oh, yeah, I know the prices, too. I know it all. So,
I love it.
Now, is this from personal experience, or is this just because you've been shopping for a lot of
this is just River Landing experience.
All right, I wasn't sure.
Yes. So I'm going to do one more ABC run next week. So if you want me to pick up something, make sure to get that order in by Monday, and then I'm going to go to the store on Tuesday. I'm probably going to have to take one of our big buses.
You might have to make
I was just going to say, you might be going 2 days in a row
That's
to get
right.
all the stuff.
My permit only lets me get a certain amount.
That's right.
But we will do one more run for the ABC store. Now for the AB Seed store at the farmer's market with the plants and potting soil and shovels and that sort of thing, it's going to be similar to what you've been doing now. You'll call and place your order, but you're just going to go and pick it up yourself if you're able to do that. And they're very nice to work with. They're a family-run business, and you can call them, tell them where you live and what you want, and they'll get your order ready for you, and you can just go pick it up. They're a very nice a group to work with.
They'll probably even help you get it in the trunk, right?
They will. I mean, normally when we go, we just tell them we're here, and they help us load it.
Right.
So
That's great.
it's an easy way to get that. Now, dry cleaning and laundering services through Tinsley's, that's going to go back to how it used to be, the normal protocol, which is you can drop off and pick up your dry cleaning at the front desk.
Right.
And if you need dry cleaning or laundering bags, those are available right at the front desk.
Yes.
So that's going to go back to how it was. All right, and then lastly, restaurant delivery and takeout. So from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., you can order directly from restaurants or utilize online services like Grubhub and DoorDash. And those drivers will deliver directly to residents who live outside. And if you're inside the building, they'll just come right to the front, and one of our River Landing staff members will take it to your apartment. And then you can also do takeout from local restaurants. So say you want to order from Outback and you feel like you want to exercise your car, they have curbside pickup. Mm-hmm. So you place your order online, you drive up, and there's a number there that you call, and they'll bring it right out to your car. So a lot of restaurants are doing that sort of thing as well. Just remember, if you're going out, wear your mask and keep that distance.
So I have a question. I kind of started to bring this up before, but
Yes.
the hybrid folks, because they're outside, but they're in a building. Do we have a procedure for them?
Yeah, we are treating the hybrid apartments just like we would an inside apartment, because like if an Instacart driver comes up and wants to deliver something, they can't get on the elevator.
Right.
They really don't have access to the building, and I think that's important that we keep it that way.
Right.
So they're going to come right to the front, and then we will have a delivery person, a staff member of River Landing, take it right over.
Great. So we're going to treat the hybrid folks as like we do our apartment folks.
Right.
That's right.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
I just want to make sure that was clear. 'Cause
Sure.
I'm sure
Yeah, it is
they're
a little
probably
confusing.
asking,
Yeah.
well, wait a minute, you haven't said anything about the hybrid folks.
Right.
So I want to
Yeah.
make sure we
Right.
cover that.
Yeah, access to those apartments, it just makes more sense.
And, there might be a better way to do that, and we can think through that in the future.
Right.
But for right now,
right
we think
now.
this is the right way to
Yep.
do this, right?
Right.
So, okay.
Yep, we'll evaluate next week and see,
Yeah, we can see how that goes.
how it's going.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's a lot.
pretty good summary there.
So most of this is effective as of Monday.
Monday.
So-
That's right.
Just keeping that in mind, starting the week.
Yeah.
All this goes into effect. So there's a lot of changes. A lot of changes
Yeah,
to
there
keep
are.
track of.
There
So,
are.
Yep.
And just when you think that's all the changes, we have some more for you tomorrow. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And these are all good. This is all good stuff.
is.
To me, I know it's a lot, but it's starting to bring it back to, and I hesitate to use the word normalcy because I think we're in a new norm now. I think things are never going to be exactly the way they were before, but I think what we're comfortable with, what we're used to, some of the amenities that we were able to provide for our residents that we really want to be able to provide, we're starting to have that back.
Sure.
It's great to see people in the pool.
Yeah.
Right.
It's great to see people playing billiards.
Getting their hair done.
Getting their hair done. Oh my goodness!
That's a big deal.
I've seen the spirits of the community lifting up
my
here
gosh.
as
And
people
the
get their
hair lifting.
done.
Yes.
Yes. So that's really cool.
Yes,
I think, and that's great.
absolutely.
And I'm a perfect reason why you shouldn't try and cut your hair on your own because I tried to do that last week and. I'm doing my best to cover up all the mistakes I made as I was doing it, and I'm too embarrassed to try and go to some place right now to even try and get it done. So I'm going to wait a while.
I've been cutting my own through the whole process.
You've done a good job.
I still have been doing it, and I might do it for a little while longer.
Well, there you go. There you go.
I just still worry about going to some places. So
Yeah.
for me, it's just a personal choice.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
You go to a place like a Great Clips. Oh my gosh,
a
there
lot of
can be
people.
tons of people going in and out
Right,
there.
right.
I mean,
So-
and I know they're trying to do their thing with,
They are.
with the spraying down and all that stuff. But
Right.
The one over here at Skeet Club has chairs lined up outside, so you sit on the sidewalk.
Sure.
Oh, they're cutting their hair
Wait.
outside.
No. You're waiting outside.
I'm teasing. I figured that's probably what you.
It might be safer, though.
It might be safer
Yeah.
to do it outside.
Except a
Don't
big
throw
gust
hair.
of wind blows and you're missing a big chunk of hair.
Oh,
Well, I'm looking at our.
oh wow.
We
It's a
actually
long
went
one
past
today.
it. We skated underneath
Woo.
of it yesterday, but we
Woo.
went over today. So, but a lot of good stuff.
A lot of good stuff.
Send your questions to Lisa and I if
Yes.
you have, Lisa
Yes.
especially, if you have
Yep.
questions from today or after you maybe you have questions after you read this tonight.
Right, absolutely. And just
and-
get them to us before noon tomorrow.
Yeah,
That
so
way
we
we can address them on the show.
We can bring them up on the show tomorrow. So, and I think we got a really good show for tomorrow.
We do. We do.
So we got a couple special guests coming
do.
on tomorrow.
Yes.
That'll think will
So
be
you
fun.
don't want to miss tomorrow either.
Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be
Another
good.
big day.
Yeah, tomorrow's another big day. This is two really good days of really good things that are happening here. We're really
Right.
so.
Right. Well, we have a couple more things, Tom.
Oh, Lisa, I'm so glad you said that
Yeah.
because I was ready to cut off
I
the show
know,
right
I know.
now. So
So birthdays for the day.
yes, thank you.
Happy birthday to Becky Garrett, and I think it's a special one for her.
Yeah,
93.
93. Wow, that's awesome.
That's amazing.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
That's
and Lou Witt. So
Okay.
two special birthdays
Yeah, Lou,
today.
happy birthday.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Okay. Do we have a winner?
We do.
For the
Michelle's
trivia.
shaking her head.
Yes, we do. Okay. Yep, we do.
And the question was,
Okay. The question was,
what is the
what is
home
the
and
home
birthplace?
and birthplace of Thomas Dewey?
Thomas Dewey.
And the answer is Owasso, Michigan.
Owasso.
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 I hope I'm saying it right. We have a lot of people here from Michigan,
So,
so I'm sure
yeah. So if you don't like the way she said it, you
Please
send her
call
the
me.
emails, okay?
somebody
So-
needs to call me. Owasso, Michigan is
I
what
think
we're
that's
going
right.
with.
It sounds right. It looks right.
It looks
so.
right. And the winner is Mary Ann Farnay.
Hey, all right.
Yes, that's very exciting. So she gets a $25 gift card today.
All right.
Yes.
That's cool.
So very good. Very good.
Okay, I think we talked about tomorrow.
Yes.
So,
Yep. So now to the joke of the day.
I think we're gonna.
No,
I think
we're
we'll
good.
skip it for tomorrow because I think we're just overdone here today. We've given them
It's
enough.
4:08, Tom.
Yeah, I know it's been a long day.
Woo.
So we'll stop it there. We got a
It's
really
a
good
good-
joke from
yes.
Jenny Rice, right? And
Yes,
so
yes.
we'll try and maybe tomorrow we'll have
I like
a chance
that.
to do that. So, all right.
Whew.
With that being said, we
That was a lot,
are ready
huh?
to sign off. If we've exhausted you, I'm so sorry about that. It's been an exhausting, but a great process trying to
It
get
is.
this together.
Yes,
So
yes.
we love you all. We hope you have a great afternoon, and we'll see you tomorrow.